Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. The Circuit Court in and for the 13th Judicial Circuit of Florida and the County Court in and for Hillsborough County, Florida, are now in ceremonial joint session. The Honorable Ronald N. Ficarota, Chief Judge presiding. Anyone having business before this court, draw near and ye shall be heard. God save the United States, the great state of Florida, and this honorable court. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance to be led by Alex Baggé-Cully and Sophia Baggé-Cully. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone to this very special occasion, the investiture of the Honorable Michael Covington Baggé-Hernández as a Hillsborough County Court Judge. At this time, I am going to call upon the pastor of Christ the King Catholic Church, my pastor, Father Len Plazeski. Father, if you could please give us an invocation.
Let us pray. Almighty God, our ultimate truth and supreme law, we humbly offer this day to you. We pray that for the glory of God and the pursuit of his justice, that Judge Michael C. Baggé-Hernández may be given the wisdom to carry out the weighty responsibility entrusted to him. May always be keen in study, accurate in analysis, correct in conclusion, honest and courteous to all, never attentive to conscience. May every word he speaks from the bench be words of the truth, and every action taken always serve the law and your justice. Measure his days not by failures or successes, but by our faithfulness to your will. We pray that his family may find in him friendship and courage, cheerfulness and charity, diligence and duties, counsel and adversity, and patience and difficulty. And like St. Thomas More, the patron of lawyers and judges, a good servant of the state, but God's first. May each day of doing your will bring us all closer to your kingdom of righteousness, justice, and love. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Father. All right, as Deputy Manzi told you, my name is Ron Ficarota, and I have the honor and privilege of serving as the Chief Judge here in the 13th Judicial Circuit. And as Deputy Manzi told you, the Circuit Court and the County Court are gathered here together today in ceremonial joint session to celebrate this very special investiture of Judge Michael Baggé-Hernández. We have I think, record number of judges here with us today. Not only from our circuit, our family, the 13th Circuit in Hillsborough County, but a number of judges from our colleagues from the federal courts are with us, and we're honored to have them with us. Judges from the 2nd District Court of Appeal, and judges really from around the state. It's just such a great reflection on Michael and on his mother, the judges that have come out to share this very, very special occasion. So please bear with me. I'm going to try to introduce all these judges, and I'm sure I'm going to miss some, so please be patient and bear with me. Here with us from the 13th Circuit, we have Judge Catherine Essrig, Judge Rex Barbas, Judge Lamar Battles, Judge Mark Wolf, Judge Christopher Sabella, Judge Caroline Teshi-Arkin, Judge Christopher Nash, Judge Darren Farfante, Judge Christine Marleski, Judge Robin Fuson, Judge Thomas Palermo, Judge Kelly Ayers, Judge Helene Daniel, Judge Wendy DePaul. We have Hillsborough County judges with us, Margaret Taylor, Paul Jeske, Daryl Manning, Miriam Valkenberg, Cynthia Oster, Lisa Allen, Jack Gutman, Jessica Costello, James Moody III, Monique Scott, J. Logan Murphy, Joseph Tompkins, Michael Huey, Jeffrey Rich, Susan Lopez, and Matthew Smith. Here to my left, we are honored to have with us United States District Court Judge, Senior Judge Virginia Hernandez Covington, a good friend of the court, former 2nd DCA judge. Good to have her with us. And all of us are all going to be kind of co-presiding over this event, so it's going to be a great time. Let me try to get through these other judges that we have visiting with us. We're honored to have with us from the 2nd District Court of Appeals. Let me see here. We have Judge Drew Atkinson, Judge Susan Rothstein-Yukam, Judge Suzanne LeBritt. We're honored to have with us from the federal bench a former Hillsborough County Court judge, currently on the U.S. Court of Appeals, the 11th Circuit, Judge Charles Wilson, U.S. Magistrate Judge Amanda Sansoni, U.S. Senior District Judge James Moody Jr., again a former colleague of ours, former 13th Circuit Judge, the Honorable Mary Scriven, U.S. District Court Judge, the Honorable Sean Flynn, U.S. Middle District Magistrate Judge, the Honorable Susan Bucklew, again a former colleague of ours, former Hillsborough County Judge, former 13th Circuit Judge, and currently U.S. Middle District Judge, senior status, with us as well. We have visiting judges from around the state. From the 6th Judicial Circuit, we have Joshua Reba, Steve Berlin, Brett Simonovich, and let me see here. We have from the 8th Circuit, Craig DeThomasis. From the 9th Circuit, Andrew Bain. We have from the 9th Circuit, Elizabeth Gibson and Gisela Laurent. We have the Honorable Lori Winstead from the 10th Circuit, Judge Heather Doyle from the 12th Circuit, Judge Melanie Suber from the 15th Circuit, Judge Sarah Schulman from the 15th Circuit, Judge Kyle Cohen from the 20th Circuit. And I think I've called all did I miss any judges? I've got to keep my DCA judges happy and the federal judges happy. We get sued in federal court every once in a while, so I need to keep those judges, happy as well, too. So we're truly honored to have all of these judges here with us today. And we've also got some other distinguished guests with us. We've got William Schifino, the former past president of the Florida Bar, Tampa City Councilman Joseph Citro, Tampa City Councilman Louis Vieira. We have Mary Reba, who's with Senator Ed Hooper's office, Major Rayburn, representing our sheriff here today, Major Richard Mills from the Tampa Police Department, Gina Justice, our trial court administrator, and I think that's it. Let's see. And of course, also seated are distinguished guests, family members of Michael that are seated at the council table with him, his wife Rachel, his children who we met earlier doing the Pledge of Allegiance, Alex and Sophia, and his brother Stephen. And of course, all of you. So I'm not going to go and try to introduce everybody, but all of you are special VIP guests here today, and we welcome you to the Edgecombe Courthouse, as I've said before, for this very special occasion. Your presence means a lot to us as we honor Judge Baggé-Hernández here today. So I truly appreciate all of you taking your time to come and celebrate this very special occasion with us. So let's get the festivities rolling. Michael, are you ready?
I'm ready.
We're going to get it rolling, and we're going to start with Corey Person, the president of the Hillsborough County Bar Association, who's going to present a robe to you on behalf of the Hillsborough County Bar.
May it please the court. Thank you, Chief Judge Ficarota, other honorable members of the bench, family members and friends of Judge Baggé-Hernández. Welcome and good afternoon. I'm Corey Person, and I have the honor and privilege of serving as president of the Hillsborough County Bar Association, and I bring greetings on behalf of our members, our directors, and our officers. These ceremonies are among the happiest occasions at court, so we thank you, Judge Baggé-Hernández, for inviting the ACBA to join in this special occasion. The ACBA has approximately 3,500 members, and we benefit greatly from the engagement of our judicial members. We appreciate the collegial, supportive, and dynamic relationship between the members of our bench and the bar here in Hillsborough County. Judge Baggé-Hernández, you have had a distinguished career as a U.S. attorney, serving first the District of Puerto Rico in San Juan. I'm sure that was a horrible, horrible duty station for you. And later right here in the Middle District of Florida. Your career as a lawyer is matched only by your commitment to public and bar service. Your involvement spans many terrific and impactful groups, Judge, and many impactful organizations, all of which have at their core the same that you have at your core, a desire and commitment to making our community better. And if anybody follows Judge Hernandez on social media, you see he makes the rounds, not just through Tampa, but the state, and I'm a little jealous of his social media, to be honest with you. Judge Baggé-Hernández, I look forward to your continued work for the citizens of this county and this state. Your commitment to public service, to bar service, the legal profession, and your community means a great deal to us. So I want you to know that you have the HCBA's continued and unyielding support. And it is my distinct privilege to present you with this robe to wear in good health and with our highest esteem and appreciation. Congratulations.
Well, Judge, I think it's time for you to put your robe on, so I'm going to ask your wife and children to please step up here and assist you with your robe. Trick robe. Bravo. At this time, the court will call upon Alexandra Palermo to present Judge Baggé-Hernández with a Bible on behalf of the Young Lawyers Division of the Hillsborough County Bar Association.
Thank you, Chief Judge, and may it please the court. Good afternoon. My name is Alex Palermo, and I have the honor of serving as the president of the Hillsborough County Bar Association Young Lawyers Division. Judge Baggé-Hernández, on behalf of the YLD, it is my privilege to present to you the Bible upon which you'll take your oath today. The YLD is made up of HCBA members who are either under 36 years of age or in their first 5 years of practice. So we are made up of around 1,000 members and one of the largest sections of the HCBA. The YLD has been privileged to enjoy the support and mentorship of the judges of the 13th Circuit for many years. Judge, your background and dedication to public service will be a tremendous asset, not just to the legal community, but to all residents of Hillsborough County. The YLD is already so thankful for your mentorship and support of us and our programming. Folks, if you invite him to your events, he will come, and Judge Palermo will be there right along with him. But in all seriousness, we are very grateful for you. If we let you know we're having a panel or a coffee with a cause or a luncheon, we can always count on you being there, and we really do appreciate that. It means a lot to the young lawyers. We look forward to working with you in the coming years and continuing our strong partnership with you as a member of the bench. So, Judge Baggé-Hernández, please accept this Bible as a token of congratulations and well wishes from the YLD as you embark on what is sure to be a long and distinguished career.
At this time, I'm going to call upon Judge Virginia Hernandez Covington to step down from the bench here and to administer the oath of office as prescribed by our Constitution to Judge Baggé-Hernández while his wife and children hold the Bible for him.
I'll just say, as his mother and as a mother judge, it's really an honor to have the opportunity to swear in my son as a judge. And you notice I'm wearing a pin today, and this was my mother's pin. And it was a picture of her grandmother, Sophia. So my mother was Sophia, and her grandmother was Sophia. And this is Sophia, named after my mother. So, I wish my mother were here today, but I know she's here in spirit. And we co-mothered him. My mother was the other mother, and he could do no wrong. And as soon as he said he wanted to be a judge, because my mother loved him so much, it was just unconditional love. I said, from my mother's mouth to God's ear. So that's why Michael's here today.
Bravo.
raise your right hand and please repeat after me the following oath of office as prescribed by the Constitution of the State of Florida. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
protect, and defend
and defend
the Constitution and government of
the Constitution and government of
the United States
the United States
and of
the
the State of Florida,
state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified
that I am duly qualified
to hold office
to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
perform the duties
perform the duties
of county judge
of county judge,
on which I am about to enter,
of which I'm about to enter,
so help me God.
so help me God.
All right, congratulations,
Congratulations.
Judge.
All right, at this time, the court is going to call upon the Honorable Paul Jeske to present Judge Baggé-Hernández with the nameplate on behalf of the Florida Conference of County Court Judges.
Your Honor, I believe that after the hug you gave me the other day, I can call you Tom. Well, actually, I take that back. I should call your partner Tom and call you Michael. I think we should be on a first-name basis. Tom and Michael gave me a hug because they heard I was retiring, so I appreciate it. So again, I'm going to stay on a first-name basis and tell you a little bit about the Conference of County Court Judges. We're now up to 330 judges statewide, with the addition of 6 judges probably right here behind us. And the primary purpose of the Conference of County Court Judges is education, and we certainly invite you to get involved in the education. We need new young people to come over and take over for those of us who are leaving it behind. Teaching is very rewarding, and no better way to get prepared. I'll also tell you those 322 judges are ready for you, or 329, since you are one of them. They're available at any time. You call them, they're on the bench. If you need them, they will leave the bench and come talk to you. There's 42 circuit court judges that I'll bet will do the same thing. And actually, I have it on good authority. There's probably some federal judges that'll help you out if you need. So on behalf of the Conference of County Court Judges, I want to present to you this nameplate that I hope you will proudly display.
At this time, the court is going to call upon Chris Schulte to make a presentation to Judge Baggé-Hernández on behalf of the American Board of Trial Advocates.
Thank you, Your Honor. It seems like there's a theme of social media running around here, so just to touch briefly, I don't know, Your Honor. I've not run across you, and I don't know Judge Palermo. I've not had the honor of being in front of him. I can see him. I know what he looks like. 2 things. I'm relieved that this made it through the supply chain. There are some of you up there that I regret to say may not get one of these on time, but we'll try our best. So you were lucky enough to get first dibs. Secondly, I don't do social media. I LinkedIn, that's the sting of my social media. I do that at night, go through it. I don't know how I got on your feed, Judge Palermo. I don't know how you got on my feed. I suspect it's through my partner, Jody Valdez, who went to high school with, I think, Judge Palermo. But I go through my LinkedIn. You guys, I thought for a second you guys might be fraternal Siamese twins. So when I picked this up, I was a little worried that I didn't have Judge Palermo's with me to give to him, and that he would be upset that he's not getting a party gift either. My wife thought the same thing. Was Judge Palermo getting his today? Because Judge Baggé-Hernández is getting his. So on behalf of the 120 members of ABOTA, the Tampa chapter, the American Board of Trial Advocates, judges and trial attorneys alike, I'd like to present this desk stand to you. Indicates and says professionalism and civility. Anything less will not be tolerated. So when you have people like me and people like on the opposite side chirping, please point to this. Indicate this is what we're here for: professionalism and civility. So welcome to the bench. Look forward to working with you.
At this time, the court is going to call upon Secretary Melanie Griffin to make a presentation to Judge Baggé-Hernández on behalf of the Hillsborough Association for Women Lawyers.
May it please the court, Chief Judge, Father Len, you always recognize the head of your church as well, and all the distinguished guests who are gathered here today. It is such a pleasure to be here to celebrate the investiture of Judge Baggé-Hernández. And what I cannot believe is that you and I just met in June, because he is everywhere, as you have heard from our other speakers before this, and I'm sure you'll continue to hear. And that wasn't because of a lack of effort, because of his mother. Judge Covington did try to set us up, and it's not nearly as salacious as it sounds. We've both been married for several years, very happily, but she says, you've got to get to know my son and his wife and his beautiful children, and they would love to meet you and your husband and your son. You all would get along so well because he has such a servant's heart for leadership in the community, and I just know that you would share that passion. And so somehow we took it upon ourselves and finally bumped into each other at the Florida Bar Convention, albeit, to your point, with Judge Palermo, of course. And I am convinced ever more that he's not necessarily related to Sophia or Judge Covington, but possibly to Kevin Bacon, because this man is everywhere. He is 7 degrees separated from everyone. But in all seriousness, it is such a testament to his commitment to the profession and to mentoring and to bettering lawyers everywhere that he makes a commitment to be there and support not just one of the constituencies, but all of them. And so when Hall was rebuilding its membership after COVID, our numbers had dipped a little bit for the Hillsborough Association for Women Lawyers. I said to Judge Baggé, I'm like, I need you on the team. We're not of women lawyers, we're for women lawyers, and I'm gonna need that application submitted for you to be a part of our group. And this man, I think about 24 seconds later, my email dinged, and of course, Judge Baggé-Hernández had joined fall in the Hillsborough Association for Women Lawyers, and we are so grateful for that. And another story about you was that soon after that, we had a welcome reception in October to kick off our year. And what was so impressive to me is that not only that Judge Baggé-Hernández came, I mean, that was a given, right? He was going to be there with Judge Palermo for the social media. But in all seriousness, what was going to be evident to me about his mentorship and commitment was that he brought with him a third-year law school student, and she had just moved here from New York. She had transferred. And I don't know if Nina Sterling is here, but she said, I am here because of Judge Baggé-Hernández, because he convinced me that although it is intimidating to join a new profession in a new neighborhood, that I needed to come, and this was my first step to getting acclimated. And I think she left there with 40 new friends, and not just friends, people that could truly make her career in the profession that much better. And that's what you do. You change lives. It's not just that you're walking the walk, you're really talking the talk and following it up, and that is just so impressive. And so with that, I wanted to present this hanger to you, and it, as you may have heard in a few previous investitures, if I do want to read it one more time and then tell you what I think of when I think of you, is hangers are symbolic for hanging something up, such as any sort of thought, belief, ways of being, or action working in alignment with your purpose. In essence, hangers are symbolic of an inner ability you have to channel for all of time moving forward. And when I think of you, I think of a servant leader's heart, of commitment, of dedication, and most importantly, mentorship and your love of your family and all that you give to this profession. So thank you for being such an integral part of the Hillsborough community and well beyond, as a testament to all the people who are here today. And thank you for all that you do for Hall. We're so appreciative of you. Congratulations.
And at this time, the court is going to call upon Astrid Guadardo to make a presentation on behalf of the Tampa Hispanic Bar Association.
May it please the court, Chief Judge, Your Honor, I'm, as Chief Judge mentioned, my name is Astrid Guardado, and I'm the president of the Tampa Hispanic Bar Association. I'm extremely proud to be here today, in large part because Judge Baggé-Hernández is not only a member of our organization, but he's also on our advisory board. And as it's been alluded to here today by a number of people. If you ask him to come, if you ask him to support your organization, Judge Baggé-Hernández will be there. I met him approximately 2 years ago. I knew him through my conversations with Judge Covington, and I now consider him to be, and I know that we at the Tampa Hispanic Bar Association consider him to be a friend and one of our biggest supporters. The 12-year-old that lives inside of me still would like to believe that he belongs to us exclusively. The president and woman that stands before you knows that we don't have a monopoly on Judge Baggé-Hernández, but we could not be prouder of him and all that he's accomplished, and extremely proud of what he does for this community, the community that I was born into, the community that I have practiced in for the last 30 years. And I will tell you that throughout my career, I've known a lot of people, I think we've all known a lot of people that have supported different voluntary bar organizations, different civic organizations while they were running for office. And unfortunately, some of those people, once they get to where they strived to achieve, they've lost touch with those organizations. That is not the case with Judge Baggé-Hernández. He is, and if I may be presumptuous, he is the people's judge and a friend of the THBA. And we thank you for everything you do for us, and we are here for you, and would like to honor you and with a small token of our appreciation. Thank you.
At this time, the court is going to call upon Travis Coy to make a presentation to Judge Baggé-Hernández on behalf of the George Edgecombe Bar Association.
May it please the court, Chief Judge, and good afternoon to everyone else. Once again, my name is Travis Coy, and I have the distinct pleasure of serving as the president of the George Edgecombe Bar Association. The George Edgecombe Bar Association, affectionately known as GEBA, is the Tampa Bay area's largest predominantly African-American voluntary bar association. Our namesake, the late Honorable George Edgecombe, was Hillsborough County's first African-American judge. Founded in 1982, GEBA strives to promote and recognize African-Americans within the legal profession as well as the judiciary. Judge Baggé-Hernández, on behalf of GEBA, we feel honored to be a small part today in your investiture. And our gift to you is a personalized pillow. Now, the front of it says, overrule, and it actually defines what overrule means. And then the back says, to the Honorable Michael C. Baggé-Hernández, on behalf of the George Edgecombe Bar Association, congratulations on your new journey. Now, I know everyone is probably thinking, that's a nice gift, but why a pillow? Well, here's why. Rumor has it that the numbers in county court are extremely high in terms of cases. And so after a long day of hearing litigants bicker and argue, we pretty much kind of figured you're going to be tired. So in order to get some rest, we thought no better way to get some rest after a long day of all that is a pillow. So we hope you find rest with your new pillow. But again, once again, congratulations to you. Thank you for your participation in the community. Thank you for your participation in all our volunteer bar associations here in the area. And you do have an ally in GEBA, don't forget that. And also as a personal aside, thank you for your friendship and also thank you for your support. Again, congratulations.
All right, at this time, the court is going to call upon Sixth Circuit Judge, the Honorable Steve Berlin, to make a presentation to Judge Baggé-Hernández on behalf of the Asian Pacific American Bar Association.
Thank you, Chief. So congratulations on behalf of Asian Pacific American Bar Association of Tampa Bay. Congratulations on your appointment and your investiture here. And not only to you, but to everyone here, Happy Lunar New Year, as we are on our third day and final day of celebration. According to the most recent census, 4.5% of Hillsborough County is Asian or Pacific, or from the Pacific Islands. Many of them here are immigrants, or families of recent immigrants, like my mom's an immigrant, myself, my family. And so many people come here because of not only everything America has to offer, but very importantly, the rule of law, of what we all provide here. So I want to relate a story to you. My mom told me about a month or so ago, my aunt, she lives in Vietnam in one of those farming villages, just like you see in the war movies. And some guy comes there and says, hey, I want to grow an acre of yucca root, which is also known as cassava in English. And so she grows this, and then she has literally tons of yucca root. And she says, okay, it's time for harvest and pay. And the guy's like, I'm out. And he leaves. So I'm shocked. I asked my mom, so what does she do? She says, nothing. There is no place for the people to go to get help. There is no court. The government will do nothing for the people there. So if this were to happen in Ruskin, they would come to county civil, and you would provide the support that they so need there. So now, I think as Mr. Coy so said, it gets quite tiring in county with all the sheer volume. I've been on the county bench and I understand the volume that's there. So I have something that's a little different than what a Papa normally gives, is because I know you have your strong Cuban heritage and everyone knows that there's good Cuban coffee. Well, Vietnamese are big on coffee too. And so this is a tip. If you ever go to a Vietnamese restaurant and you ask for Vietnamese coffee and they don't know what this is, then it's not authentic. So this is how it goes. And one thing I failed to do in proper planning is I was going to try to get a coffee mug from your chambers so we could do a demonstration, but I apparently I couldn't get in there. But a little bit of sweetened condensed milk on the bottom. And this is a press that has a little, you put the, and it's Café du Monde, which is because of the French influence that was in Vietnam. It goes in there and you pour the hot water over there and it steeps. And if you can blink within the first hour, it's not strong enough. So as to that, congratulations, sir. We wish you the best. And
you know, the Café du Monde coffee, we'll have to see if we can get some beignets or a good muffaletta here going sometime shortly. So, next, the court's going to call upon Chris Mathena to make a presentation to Judge Baggé-Hernández on behalf of the Tampa Bay Trial Lawyers Association.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chief Judge Figueroa, Your Honors. May it please the court. My name is Chris Mathena. I stand before you today on behalf of the TBTLA, or the Tampa Bay Trial Lawyers Association. We are a voluntary bar association with over 400 attorneys in the Tampa Bay area. Our mission includes upholding the honor and dignity of the profession of law and assuring trial courts remain accessible to every citizen of the state of Florida in pursuit of justice. And admittedly, I have not met Judge Baggé-Hernández before today, but I've become, as many apparently, an adamant social media follower of yours. The last handful of months, every month when I get my FJA journal or my Hillsborough County Bar Association journal, and I look through all of the monthly events and the photos, and I see every month a dozen pictures of Judge Baggé-Hernández and Judge Palermo. And I decided when today's opportunity came up, I jumped up and I said, this is a judge I got to meet. But seriously, Judge, the term judge is a very powerful word. It's both a person of great power and knowledge. It's also an action that can change people's lives. To be a judge requires a great balancing act to wear many roles. A judge must be compassionate but impartial, must venture to be wise but open-minded. It takes a lot of courage to wear these hats and to know that every decision you make is probably going to leave one side a little upset with you. I know that Judge Baggé-Hernández has the courage to fulfill these obligations. He's shown in his wide-ranging legal career that he's ready for his new role with as a member of our judiciary. As someone who litigates all over Florida, and I didn't know other judges from other circuits are going to be here today, but I can say that the attorneys and the citizens of Hillsborough County are lucky to have the best body of judges in the state of Florida.
Thank you.
Judge Baggé-Hernández, I know I speak not just for the TBTLA, but for all the people in this room when I say that she will be an excellent judge and a tremendous addition to the 13th Judicial Circuit. So congratulations, Your Honor. And on behalf of TBTLA,
At this time, the court will call upon Diana Arteaga to make a presentation to Judge Baggé-Hernández on behalf of the Cuban-American Bar Association.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're all awake out there, are we? My name is Diana Arteaga. I am a board member of the Cuban-American Bar Association based in South Florida. And I must say I was surprised to receive an invitation to speak today because about a year ago, I remember watching in horror as Judge Baggé-Hernández sunk into Biscayne Bay on a boat that we put him on for our annual fundraiser, Your Dad's a Fast Swimmer. Very fast. It wasn't that deep. It was over that time. But in all seriousness, my friend, I am very happy to be here to celebrate you. Enhorabuena. It's been a long time coming. So on behalf of the board of the Cuban-American Bar Association, we'd like to present you with this plaque.
Thank you. On behalf of the Herbert Goldberg, Ronald Cacciatore, criminal law American and of court, I'm going to recognize Carlton Gammons to make a presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. And I want to thank you, Judge Baggé-Hernández, for inviting me to the investiture of Tom Palermo. My name is Carlton Gammons. I'm the president of the Herbert Goldberg, Ronald Cacciatore Criminal Law and of Court. Judge Baggé-Hernández has been a member of Goldberg Cacciatore for many, many years. It seems statistically impossible, but you joined in 2005, 17 years ago. The Goldberg Cacciatore Inn of Court seeks to encourage professionalism and civility in the criminal bar in the Tampa Bay area, and Mike is an icon of that. I've worked at the U.S. Attorney's Office with Mike previously, and I think both myself and everybody in this room knows that Mike is a good lawyer, a good prosecutor, good judge, but more importantly for me, Mike is a good man. On behalf of the Goldberg Cacciatore Inn of Court, the Executive Committee, and our entire membership, I want to present you this plaque and tell you Felicidades, hermano.
And at this time, the court is going to call upon Bradley Russell to make a presentation on behalf of the Jesuit Bar Association.
Judge Baggé-Hernández and I went to Jesuit High School together a long time ago. I'd love to tell some amusing stories, but they're all too tame. Jesuit High School's motto is men for others, and Judge Baggé, you have lived a life of service to others. You are truly a man of others, and it is my honor to present this plaque to you on behalf of the Jesuit Bar Association.
Thank you. And the court is going to call upon Cesar Niñera, to make a presentation to Judge Baggé-Hernández on behalf of the Hispanic Bar Association of Central Florida.
May it please the court, Chief Justice, members of the judiciary, everyone. It's an honor to be back here in the Edgecourt Courthouse to celebrate this special occasion, not only for a mentor, but a friend, Judge Michael Baggé-Hernández. I had the distinct privilege of being sworn into the Tampa Hispanic Bar Association 2 years ago, and then eventually I came back to Central Florida where I became the president there. So how does we tie into this? Well, Judge Michael Baggé-Hernández has always, as you know, man of service. He exemplifies that. But he goes above and beyond to give mentorship opportunities to people who are aspiring to be in this profession, and is just a great human being. one of the things that we did recently was Pat to the Bench, where we made a collaborative effort to pair the 13th Circuit, 9th Circuit, and Broward County to get communities together. And we had Judge Balkenberg, Judge Palermo, Judge Rice, and of course Judge Baggé-Hernández in that project, and it was successful, and till this day we're still working on that. So traditionally at the 9th Circuit, we in the investitures often give what's a favorite pastime game called dominoes. So dominoes is somewhat symbolic because it brings people together, where you're experienced or just someone just starting off, it brings someone together. You can have that pastelito, café con leche, and I think that it's symbolic because Judge Michael Baggé-Hernández, you see this room here today, he united all of us from different counties. That's you, Judge. I appreciate everything you've done. This organization appreciates everything and your support. And you know you have a friend here in the Hispanic Bar Association of Central Florida and at the 9th Judicial Circuit.
Well, on behalf of all the judges, I want to thank all of the voluntary bar associations and organizations and inns of court for being here today to make these presentations. As judges, we appreciate you and everything that your organizations do to support our judiciary and our third branch of government. Thank you all very much. Well, I think you've run out of room there, so why don't we let you come on up here, and Deputy Manzi, will you please escort Judge Baggé-Hernández to his place here on the bench? Good to have you up here with us. All right, at this time, the court is going to call upon the Honorable Charles R. Wilson, followed by Stephen Baggé, to make some remarks on behalf of Judge Baggé-Hernández. Judge Wilson.
Chief Judge Figueroa, distinguished members of the court, honored guests, it's a real privilege for me to be back here in the 13th Judicial Circuit. And I'm especially proud to accept the invitation to participate in Judge Baggé-Hernández's investiture. And if it would please the court, just for today, I'm going to refer to the judge as Michael, since I have known him pretty much his entire life. Our families go back a long way. I spoke to my 93-year-old mother just yesterday, and she reminded me that many, many decades ago, she took a history class at the University of Tampa that was taught by Michael's grandfather, Dr. Michael Covington, who was a distinguished professor of history at the University of Tampa. Michael's sister, Laura, and my daughter, Courtney, were classmates at the Academy of the Holy Names, grade school classmates and high school classmates for a while. And Michael's mother and I attended high school together. Well, we attended separate high schools at the same time. Virginia, Judge Covington Hernandez was a student at the Academy of the Holy Names when I was a student at Jesuit, and we participated in the National Forensic League. And so on weekends, you know, there would be debates, and we would hold debates at high schools around the county. So Virginia and I debated against one another when we were teenagers. But there is a matter about which there will be no debate this afternoon, that Governor DeSantis made an excellent choice when he selected Michael to serve. He is exceptionally well qualified to serve as a county judge in the 13th Judicial Circuit. It would be fair to say that In terms of background and experience, he's the complete package. He began his career as an assistant state attorney in this circuit, and then he served with great distinction as an assistant United States attorney for the Middle District of Florida and the District of Puerto Rico. During that journey, he developed a reputation as an accomplished trial lawyer. He's steeped in the rules of evidence, and he's steeped in the rules of procedure. Having served as a United States attorney myself, I know the demands of the job and the challenges that he faced on a daily basis, and the expectations and responsibilities that go with a job like that. And I know the immense honor to be upheld when you walk into a courtroom and announce to the judge and all assembled that you're there on behalf of the United States of America. So Michael is not only experienced, he cares about justice. He'll be impartial. He cares about fairness. Those of you who know Michael know that he has a very outgoing personality and enthusiasm. Those are attributes that will serve him well as a county judge. He has all the attributes that will serve him well as a county judge. You might ask, how do I have standing to say what it takes to serve as a county judge in the 13th Judicial Circuit? Well, I had the great privilege many decades ago of serving as a county judge here in the 13th Judicial Circuit. They were some of the most rewarding years of my professional career. This is where I began my judicial career, right here in the 13th Judicial Circuit. And so I know that the county court is the front court to the state court judicial system. County judges interact on a daily basis with members of the public from all walks of life. They preside in small claims where the matter in controversy might not involve a lot of money, but it's a lot of money to the parties involved. Some of them may be unrepresented, and so the judge needs special skills to get the information that he needs to arrive at a just decision and to get straight to the heart of the matter. Michael has the personality that will enable him to reach those decisions and justly preside in those cases and controversies. County judges have jurisdiction to preside over criminal misdemeanors. The defendants are usually not the most dangerous criminals, but oftentimes ordinary citizens who've fallen on the wrong side of the law. Michael will be tough, but he'll be compassionate when mercy is required. He will demonstrate wisdom and courage. Wisdom to do what is right under the laws of the state of Florida and the Constitution of the United States, and the courage to do the right thing, even when it's not the most popular thing. I know Michael has no biases. He has no prejudices, no malice. He is vested with what we refer to as judicial temper. He'll be decisive. He'll move a docket. He'll rule promptly. Having known Michael for as long as I have, I'm certain that he will be courteous to the lawyers who appear in his courtroom, to the clerks of the court, the bailiffs, the witnesses, the jurors, recognizing that they're all indispensable components of the administration of justice. And he will foster collegiality with his colleagues. How do I know these things? I have never left Michael's presence without being uplifted by the experience. Michael will be a great judge for many reasons, not the least of which is he's surrounded by a strong and supportive family. His father, mother, and brother are members of the bar who've distinguished themselves in their own right. He's the son of a corporate lawyer and a mother who also served as a state and federal prosecutor and now a judge. Along with Stephen, Laura, and Rachel, they value faith and they value education. Speaking of education, this is another great day for Jesuit High School. Michael and I are graduates of Jesuit High School. So is Chief Judge Figueroa. We're pretty well represented in the judiciary. And we take a great deal of pride in the accomplishments of one another. And as Bradley said, our mantra is to be men for others. We value service to our community, And this is a judge who has spent his entire career in public service, foregoing the financial rewards of the private sector. He's dedicated his career to serving the public. I hate to say this. Judge Palermo, the next time the judges who are graduates of Jesuit High School get together for lunch, as we've done before, you're going to have to add another seat at the table for Michael.
Absolutely.
Judging is hard. It's not easy business. It can oftentimes be very challenging. Michael, make sure that you draw upon your wonderful family to sustain you through the exigencies of your career as a judge. I have watched over the years how both your father and your mother have played a prominent role in your preparation for your judicial career. On this day, I am reminded of your grandparents. I remember seeing them at the 11 o'clock Mass at Christ the King Catholic Church, Father Lynn, on Sunday mornings. I'm sure that your grandparents, and especially your grandmother, who immigrated to this country from Cuba, contributed to developing within you a strong appreciation for what our law and our legal system can do to improve the lives of others. You're bilingual. Your mom made sure of that when you were growing up. You bring unique cultural values to the dispensation of justice in our circuit. In conclusion, I have to say that it's been an absolute joy for me to watch this next generation of judges begin their service as members of our courts. We're very fortunate here in Tampa. The judiciary is in good hands. Michael and his colleagues, recently appointed, will serve well today, tomorrow, and into the future. So Michael, there are so many of us who are proud of you today. We're grateful to the governor for your appointment, and we hope that you will, God willing, serve this community for many years to come. And thank you for inviting me to participate.
And at this time, the court will call upon Stephen Baggé.
Good afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Stephen Baggé, and I'm Michael's younger brother. When Michael first asked me to speak at his investiture, it was almost 2 years ago when he was first appointed to the bench. We were all disappointed when Michael's original investiture had to be delayed due to COVID. I've been eagerly awaiting my opportunity to speak about Michael. Not only because I love my brother, but also for some more personal reasons. You see, Michael gave a toast at my wedding. And Michael's speech clocked in at about 18 minutes. For years, I've been wondering if I could top that. So Michael, it's time for payback, and I hope you guys are comfortable in your seats out there. In all seriousness, it is such an honor and privilege to speak today about Michael. When I found out that Michael was going to become a judge, I knew he'd be well suited for the job from personal experience. Growing up, my parents often put Michael in charge of my sister and me because Michael was the oldest child in the family. He certainly liked having authority, and normally he did the right thing. Although, admittedly, sometimes he put us in timeout even though we did nothing wrong. Now, Michael is very well qualified for his position and is devoted to the law. He spent about 15 years as a prosecutor before being appointed. Michael has been drawn to public service even at considerable sacrifice. When Michael was an assistant United States attorney, Michael spent several months on detail in Latin America on behalf of the Department of Justice. Michael did this even though he had to spend time away from his family, Rachel, Alex, and Sophie, because he was doing important work and because he was the right man for the job. And why was Michael the right man for the job? Well, there were many reasons undoubtedly, but surely his Spanish language skills were at the top of the list. Growing up, Michael learned Spanish from my mother and my grandmother. My grandmother was born in Cuba and came to Tampa in the 50s. Michael and my grandmother were always very close, and Michael has always embraced his Hispanic heritage. Michael never turns down a chance to speak Spanish, or eat Cuban food for that matter. Even today, I know Michael is working hard to pass down his love of his heritage to his children. Indeed, Michael's embrace of his heritage is another reason why he is well suited for his position. Our community here in Hillsborough County is so diverse, and our judiciary should certainly reflect that. Another reason Michael will make a great judge is that Michael treats everyone with respect and dignity. Michael is the kind of guy who is just as likely to befriend the waiter at a party as he is as to chat to a VIP. When Michael was in AUSA, some of the people who were most excited for Michael when he became a judge were the cleaning crew at his office. Seriously, when one of Michael's former colleagues told me that the other AUSAs were astonished with how well these people knew Michael and how excited they were for him, since Michael had only been in the Tampa office for a fairly short time, yet he seemed to be their best friend. In fact, when news spread around that Michael became a judge, I understand that one of the ladies actually ran up full speed to Michael, gave him a giant hug in front of everyone, just because they were so excited for Michael to become a judge. And the reason why is because Michael always treated everyone with the highest levels of dignity and respect. And why is that important? We all know that in court, someone has to win and someone has to lose. A judge's temperament and demeanor are so important. This is particularly true in county court, where there are so many unrepresented people who simply are unfamiliar with our legal system. If the judge treats you with respect, even if he or she rules against you, that does so much to promote respect for the law. Finally, Michael is a hard worker, and he will do what it takes to do a good job. When Michael was an assistant U.S. attorney, he had a very high caseload. He spent a lot of late nights at the office, which is probably how he got to know the cleaning crew so well. And that was a good training ground for being a county court judge here in Hillsborough County, because we have some of the most crowded dockets in the state. And I know Michael is doing his part to clear out those dockets. I heard from a former colleague who has cases in front of Michael that Michael works really hard to move cases along, oftentimes deciding motions without even hearings. I know from personal experience, you don't see that too often in county court, because the judges normally don't have the time to review motions that aren't set for hearings because they're so busy with the motions that are being heard. But apparently Michael has found the time to do it and make it happen. Michael, on behalf of our entire family, I can tell you we are so proud of your accomplishments. We've seen how hard you've worked to get here, and we're so excited to keep seeing you do great things. Congratulations.
And at this time, the court is going to call upon Judge Baggé-Hernández to step to the podium and make such remarks as he may deem appropriate.
Thank you, Chief.
Chief Judge, distinguished members of the judiciary, honored guests, friends, colleagues, may it please the court. Humbled, honored, and grateful. As a brand new assistant United States attorney for the District of Puerto Rico, I was sent to the National Advocacy Center in Columbia, South Carolina to be trained in federal trial advocacy. Among other things they taught me is that the theme of whatever speech, opening remarks, closing arguments should be made within the first 30 seconds of anything you say. So I start with these words: humbled, honored, grateful. I'm humbled and honored to be before you today with the opportunity to serve the people of Hillsborough County, to serve the community where my Cuban family first came to the United States, where I grew up, and after being overseas and elsewhere, where I've returned to raise my children. I am so grateful. and the remainder of what I have to say will focus on my gratitude. First, I must thank our governor, Ron DeSantis, and his staff in the General Counsel's office, as well the members of the 13th Circuit Judicial Nominating Committee. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve my community and for having the faith in me to carry out the duties of this office. Thank you to the other applicants. Every single one of you reached out to me and congratulated me when my appointment had become public. Your well wishes and hopes that I would succeed in my new role may have seemed like a mundane task to you, but to me, that act of kindness is what makes this judicial circuit one of the best in the state, and I thank you for it. I also have to thank the people who made this day possible. First and foremost, the staff here at the 13th Judicial Circuit, especially Janice Albury, Carlos Nieves, and Wagner Mora. They have done an amazing job, and thank you. I want to thank also the speakers who took the time out of their busy schedules to be here. Thank you, Judge Wilson, for being here. It means a lot to me that you were here, especially since you've known me since I was so young. Thank you for your kind words and mentorship. I'm very grateful. Thank you, Father Len, the priest at my parish, Christ the King, whom I've also known for a long time, and maybe some of you may have known, baptized my son, Alex. Thank you, Corey Persons. Thank you, Alexandria Palermo, Judge Paul Jeske, Christopher Schulte, our newly appointed Secretary of Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation, Melanie Griffin, Travis Coy, Christopher Mathena, Judge Steve Berlin, my good friend from New Judges School, Astrid Guardado, my friend and whom we've worked a lot together with the Tampa Hispanic Bar Association, Diana Arteaga, my good friend from Miami, and fellow CABA member, Carlton Gammons, my friend and colleague from the U.S. Attorney's Office of Middle District of Florida. Cesar Niera, thank you for coming back to Tampa from Central Florida to be here. It means a lot, thank you. And my friend Bradley Russell for coming from Jacksonville and also presenting. We have been friends since Jesuit, and we are like brothers. And of course, not last but not least, my actual brother, Stephen Baggé. Thank you for your kind words and not for embarrassing me too badly. I guess that comes later. Also, thank you to Amy Curado, who will sing today after my remarks. You have an amazing voice, and I'm really looking forward to you singing. I appreciate you all being here, and I appreciate each and every one of you that is here today for being here. It is absolutely, well, first of all, it's not easy to be sitting here for as long as you've been sitting here. I understand that. Judge Palermo and I have been to many investitures. We know how hard it can be. If anyone needs to get up, take a stretch break, by all means, feel free. It won't hurt my feelings. But in all seriousness, I'm grateful for your support of me. I hope I'm worthy of it. And every day, every time that I'm on the bench or out representing our community across the state or across the world, I will work hard to make myself worthy of your support of me. It is impossible for me to recognize everybody here, recognize everyone each and individually by name. I wish I could, but I cannot. But believe me when I tell you, you have made an impression on my heart that will last a lifetime. I love you all, and I'm grateful for you too. But I love this community as well. I'm grateful to be a Tampeño. Growing up in Tampa, Hillsborough County, was a wonderful gift that my parents gave me. My parents met at Georgetown Law in Washington, D.C., and after I was born, they were faced with a decision: move either to northern New Jersey, where my dad is from, or to Tampa. I'm glad they chose Tampa. I am. I can't tell you, I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be the person that I am today without this county. First off, my maternal grandparents were here. Anyone who knows me knows I love history and teaching. I got that from my grandfather, who was a history professor at the University of Tampa from 1951 to 1989. He was the founder of the Tampa Bay History Center, a founder, the Tampa Historical Society, and the Rough Riders crew. He was also official historian for Hillsborough County. I'm multilingual because of my grandmother. She was an amazing woman, and I can still feel her influence on me, even to this day. She was deeply devoted to her faith and family. She took care of us while my parents worked. Because of the political troubles in Cuba, my grandmother and her family, like many Cuban Americans, face a tough choice to stay in their homeland and face persecution, or flee across the Florida Straits and seek refuge in the United States. She and her family chose Tampa. My grandmother arrived to Tampa later in life and never really learned to speak English. I remember having to translate for her at an Eckerd's drugstore, and then asking her, why would she move to a place, in my ignorance, why would she move to a place where she didn't speak the language? Her answer was simple. Aquí tenemos libertad. Here we have freedom. And I stand here before you, free and protected by the United States Constitution because of her and her family's sacrifice. From her, I developed my love of this country because I know what she had lost in Cuba, but I gained by being an American. From her stories of milking cows on family farms in Cuba and then having that farm and other property forcefully and unlawfully taken away by the Cuban authorities, her unlawful detention in Cuba, and worse atrocities, I developed an appreciation for the rule of law and our constitutional system of government. The Constitution guaranteed rights that protected my grandmother's freedom from here, as it does to all of us, so that she or any of us would never have to experience what she and her family experienced in Cuba. Besides my grandparents, I had many family friends here to help guide me along the way. Thank you to the Greco family and the Russell family. You all were like second parents to me growing up. Additionally, I'm grateful for the institutions of learning that I had growing up, shaping me into the person that I am today, which are some of the best in the country. I'm grateful for the education that I received and the role models I received at St. Mary's Episcopal Day School, Christ the King Catholic Church, and of course, Jesuit High School. Nick Szynski, thank you for being here from Jesuit. We were also classmates, or he was a year ahead of me at Jesuit. Thank you for being here. After graduating from Jesuit and graduating from the Florida State University, I went to Stetson University College of Law in Gulfport. At Stetson, I really developed a passion for international law and trial advocacy. That should not be a surprise. I have professors Luce Nagels, Charlie Rose, and Timothy Kay to thank for that. But truly, all my professors at Stetson were amazing. I also had the opportunity to make lifelong friends that have shaped our community, including Lee Perlman, Jason and Aaron Whittemore, Eric Roslansky, Jenna Ruth, Kyle Murphy, Mike Kangas, Paul Supwich, Pamela De Agostino, and Wesley Dykes. I even had friends from Jesuit that I met there, like Greg Pizzo. Thank you to all my Stetson friends. Your friendship meant a lot and means a lot to me, especially when I was overseas. I'm grateful for the opportunity to have served as an assistant state attorney here in Hillsborough County, Florida. It was an amazing opportunity to serve the people, and it was an amazing opportunity that I had to learn and grow. I appreciate the people that I met there, as well as the people that I reconnected with, including people like Kathy Fan, Aaron Hubbard, Brian Schrader, Melissa Hill, Stephanie Simon, Judge Matt Smith, Ada Carmona, Amy Casanova Ward, Michelle Doherty, Mike Sinecor, Ashley Pye, Lori Cura, Shauna Hale, Judge Lindsay Alvarez, Judge Susie Lopez, Judge Cindy Oster, Judge Jennifer Gabbard, but also was fortunate to work with fabulous attorneys on the other side that although our clients were adversarial, we didn't have to be. Some of my best friends, in fact, were the lawyers I was arguing against in court. Actually, both in state and federal court, that I have the fortune to work with some amazing attorneys, and I'm grateful. Those people include Rocky Broncado, Scott Schwartz, Mike Giassi, Mark Malcolm, Warren Zimmerman, Dennis Sekura, Dario Diaz, Michelle Gonzalez, Cynthia Hernandez, Vanessa Album, Jason Valkenberg, Rebecca Castaneda, Gus Introne, John Fitzgibbons, David D., Todd Foster, Ron Cacciatore, Michelle Lambo, Tim Fitzgerald, Summer Goldman, Eddie Suarez, Lisa McLean, Sarah Michkowski, Joanne Palchik, Judge Jeff Rich, Victor Pellegrino, who's no longer with us today, and my childhood neighbor, Bubba Huerta, whose memory lives on by the award named after him, the Marcelino Bubba Huerta Award. I learned so much from these folks and many more. I am grateful for having you in my life. My time in Puerto Rico was a life-changing experience. Though I had been outside of Florida for many times before, and I'd even lived overseas before. This was the first time that I had left Florida for such a long time. I'm grateful for my time there, and I would have liked to thank some people who are here physically and virtually. They're appearing here over Zoom. And I appreciate your patience with me as I thank these people who are important to me so that they can understand me. Desde 2009 hasta 2014, mi vida cambió como fiscal federal para el Distrito de Puerto Rico. Eso fue un sueño realizado. From 2009 to 2014, my life in Puerto Rico as an assistant United States attorney was a dream come true. Quiero reconocer a los fiscales federales, abogados de defensa y otros que me apoyaron con este sueño por sus amistades y sabiduría. I want to recognize several people here who supported me with this dream, with their friendship and wisdom. Marcela Mateo, Francisco Reyes, Aidita Mateo, Carla González Cruz, Joseph Butcher Martinez, Jenny Espada, Christine Doria, Vilmari Alcaraz. Gracias por su apoyo y amistad. Thank you for your friendship and support. After Puerto Rico, my wife and I came back to the Middle District of Florida. First 3 years at the U.S. Attorney's Office in Fort Myers, and then back to Tampa. I had many friends and colleagues in the Middle District of Florida without whom I would never have been successful. Thank you so much for your support, especially United States Magistrate Sean Flynn, United States Magistrate Chris Toot, Judge Susan Rothstein-Yoakum, Judge Kyle Cohen, Judge Joseph Tompkins, Diego Novaes, Charlie Connolly, Lisa Thelwell, Dan Baeza, Jennifer Parisi, Candace Rich, Anita Cream, Maria Guzman, Joe Ruddy, Chris Poore, Astrid Mercado, and also Judge Catherine Kimball Mizell, who we prosecuted a tax case together when I was at the U.S. Attorney's Office in Fort Myers, and she was at the Department of Justice Tax Division in Washington, D.C. That case was a lot of fun and generated some interesting stories. Thank you for being my trial partner on that case. You really had an in-depth knowledge of the subject that was invaluable. Thank you. Thank you also to all the federal and state law enforcement agencies that worked with me along the way. Due to the nature of your work, I understand to not recognize anyone in particular, but to recognize you all collectively. But you know who you are individually. I'm grateful to have worked with you. Judges of the Middle District of Florida, I want to thank you for giving me the guidance and wisdom. I've learned so much from you as an attorney and as a judge. Thank you, the judges here in Tampa that came to be here with me. And thank you all for your example. I have profited from it in more ways than you will ever know. And I know that I'm a better position in my courtroom because I have been in your courtroom. I also want to thank one judge in particular, Judge Bucklew. You decided to accept interns. You didn't have to, but you did. Your internship and mentorship gave me an opportunity to grow and learn. I think in every application that I've ever filled out since law school, your name appears. But more importantly, those lessons I learned from that semester also remain. I remember once asking you, do you ever get annoyed with students making a lot of mistakes? Your reply was, yeah, the stupid mistakes, so don't make any of those. That made sense to me. But then you said, but if you don't make mistakes, then you don't learn. That also made sense to me and stuck with me. From your example, I've taken on so far 12 mentees and 5 interns from various law schools throughout the United States and from various backgrounds. Some of them are here. Today. Next summer, it looks like I will have approximately 4 more. I run my program like you did. If there are hearings, the students go to the hearings, and they must produce proposed orders in my internship. This way, they have at least one non-law school legal writing sample that they can use in applying for jobs after law school. The writing sample I submitted for my application for the U.S. Attorney's Office in Puerto Rico was from your internship. The success of my program is directly credit to you and my experience with you. Thank you, Judge Buckley, for giving me that experience. Ever since I came back to the United States, I wanted to reconnect with my hometown and my home state. I guess Judge Palermo and I have done a decent job at that. There are so many organizations that I've been a part of and active with since I've been back. But rather than name all those organizations, I'd rather thank some of the members of those organizations and ask them to kindly tell other members who aren't here, thank you so much for the impact that you've had on me. Thank you. Thank you to Elliot Peace, Charbel Barakat, Morgan Streetman, Matthew Hall, Bernie Jocks, Akash Patel, Diego Pastena, Natalia Reina, Trish Condamo, Amy Ruiz, Sean Yesner, Brian Levine, Anthony Garcia, Mark Wright, Adele Goldsmith, Stephanie Crane-Lieb, John Shafina, Bill Shafino, Kevin McLaughlin, Cliff Curry, Jordan Maglish, Pedro Bajo, Art Wood, Mary Wood, Sierra Willis, Jason Imler, George Hunter, Sean Bevel, Alexis Devereaux, Grace Yang, Sarah Peacock, Zara Elias, Jason Stearns, Sean Estes, Jesse Hoyer, Anthony Palermo. Actually, Anthony Palermo and our family go back for a long time. But it was nice to reconnect, and actually there's a lot of folks here whose family and mine go way back. Some to Cuba, some to New Jersey. The list goes on, but I will not. Thank you, and thank you to you all to whom I did not recognize formally. You were recognized in my heart. There are a lot of judges from here, from different courts from around the state. Thank you so much for coming here today and celebrating with me. Your presence means a lot. Thank you so much to my new judge school friends, Judges Melanie Serber and Heather Doyle, for always being around. Whenever I need a question or just wonder how things are done in another part of the state, you are always there. Thank you to Judges Suzanne LeBritt, Drew Atkinson, Lori Weinstead, Jason Nimeth, Craig DeThomas, Andrew Bain, Joshua Reba, Chris LaBrusso. Thank you to my Judicial Case Club friends, Gisela Laurent, Elizabeth Gibson. I've learned so much from you all. Thank you for your friendship, and having an opportunity to discuss relevant cases have been so helpful for me. Thank you to our staff that work behind the scenes that not everybody may know. Thank you to our court administrator, Gina Justice, for making everything run so smoothly. Thank you to our staff attorneys, Dave Rowland, Lindsay Sierra, Christian Katchuk, Melissa Foss, Camilla Yori, Brian Harser. Those folks are the ones that help make the legal decisions happen, especially in a pinch. Thank you all so much. And thank you to the deputies that are here in the courthouse making sure everyone is safe, in particular Deputy DeCobo and my bailiff, Francisco Correa, who in several months will be retirement. Congratulations, and thank you for keeping us all safe. Thank you to the deputy clerks who work with me. I appreciate all that you do, and to make sure that what happens in court is personally recorded. They are all amazing people, the clerk's office are. But I have to thank personally a couple people, Dana Benson and Stacy Heron and Robert Schindler. Without them, my division would be a disaster. It's true. Finally, I want to thank my judicial assistant, Yoli Caballero de Vesta. Que equipo somos. What a wonderful team we are. Thank you so much for everything that you've done, especially in the last year. You've heard other folks say what kind of work that we have done and what kind of cases we have. Yoli is what makes that happen. I could not have managed this monstrous task without your tireless help and dedication to the mission. Dedicated to the mission to serve the people of Hillsborough County. My thanks is insufficient to fully describe my gratitude. However, thank you for serving with me, and thank you for continuing to serve with me. We really have an amazing circuit here in Hillsborough County. That starts at the top. Thank you, Chief Ron Figueroa, for your leadership throughout the pandemic and your mentorship. Starting a new job is never easy. Learning new procedures, protocols, areas of the law, and on top of all that, I started this job right before the pandemic hit. We had new challenges that we had to overcome. I felt much more at ease starting in this life because Chief Judge Figueroa is here. Thank you, Chief. Thank you to my mentor judge, Miriam Valkenberg, for being there and never having to close the door on me, not once, no matter how many times I asked. Every single one of these judges here are mentor judges to me, everyone, and it doesn't matter at what point they were appointed or elected, they've all been mentor judges to me. And rather than go through them each and every one individually, which I'm sure the chief would not be happy that I'd be taking more time, I just want to say a big thank you to you all. Thank you. Finally, I want to thank my family. Well, before actually I thank my family, there is one person I do have to thank. And I wasn't sure which category to put this person in, either judge or family. I think we all kind of know who we're talking about. Don't look away. I'm right here. You can look right at me. That's obviously Judge Palermo. Tom may not remember me from that's obvious. That was really me looking more at my nose. It was obvious who it is. Tom may not remember me from Jesuit, especially since I like to remind him he left after I got there. But I remember him. He was a legend in the speech and debate team, which my mother had made me join. I'll never admit it to her, but I actually really enjoyed it. Judge Palermo's name was used as an example of how successful you could be during speech and debate. When I finally met Tom, I expected him to be able to fly or have rainbows shoot out of his mouth when he spoke, or some magical ability. That's not true. Actually, Judge Palermo, Tom, what I really found out about you is not your amazing ability, your intellect, or your amazing ability to orate, but your real talent, your real passion is the type of friend you are. Judge Palermo is a man for others in every sense of the word. He is loyal to a fault, and he is always willing to lend an ear or give good advice. I still use your name, Judge Palermo, Tom Palermo, as an example of success, but not at being a debate superstar, but at being a good person. Tom, thank you for your friendship and brotherhood. They mean more to me than you'll ever know. Thank you to my sister Laura. She's an inspiration. She's the only non-lawyer in our family. She just graduated from Florida State University with a master's in nurse anesthetist. Though she started out on a path almost to law, she realized that she had another calling, and she pursued that dream and achieved it. Congratulations to you and your fiance Craig as you start your new lives in North Carolina. You'll be there with a lot of other Floridians. Thank you again to my brother Stephen for speaking today and being a great brother. Your scholastic and professional achievements show your amazing legal acumen. At a young age, my brother was always brilliant, and I always wondered how he would find someone smarter than him to marry. He did that with Kelly Carey. Thank you both, and while we're at it, let me thank Mike and Sue Carey and the whole Carey family for adopting me. You really got a twofer. I'm very grateful for your love and support, thank you. Thank you to my father-in-law and mother-in-law, Tony and Debbie Cully. Thank you for making the move to Tampa and making Tampa home so we all could be closer as a family. And candidly, so you could help with the kids. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you to my sister-in-law, Sammy Cully. Whatever you think of me as being outgoing, Sammy is 20 times that. She knows everybody, and you'll be friends with her by the end of the night. She loves talking about Special Olympics, and she and her friend, Josh, who is here today, are both Special Olympians. And between the two of them, they could build a building with the medals they've earned. Thank you, Sammy and Josh. And thank you to my wife's family, the Cullys, Tiffs, Williams, Marks, Mendezes. Thank you all for embracing me since I've come into the family. Thank you to my family in New Jersey and Europe who could not be here physically but are watching on Zoom. Thank you for the wonderful summers I had growing up, not only for the adventures I had, but the love I received. Northern New Jersey is a wonderful place in the summer for nature, and Europe is full of history, but more importantly, you were all there to greet me when I visited from Florida. Thank you. Thank you to my Cuban family, my aunt and uncle Maria and Raymond Fernandez, my aunt and uncle Luis and Hortensia Rodriguez, who are really cousins, but we say aunt and uncle out of respect. Thank you for keeping our traditions and family history alive. I love hearing the stories of how it used to be over there. Thank you for your love and support. To my cousin Lisette Fernandez, who is really more like a big sister than a cousin, and her son Liam, who is my godson. Thank you for being here and for your love and support. Liam, good luck at Jesuit. It's a great school. Just make sure you mention that you're related to Stephen. He's a smart one. Thank you, Debbie Slaughter and Andy Grosso, for being such great bonus parents. Debbie, you're probably at as many soccer and baseball games as I am cheering on the kids, and you know the finer points about playing dolls much more than I ever will understand. Thank you. Thank you, Andy, for loving my children and being a source of wisdom for me. And playing chess with Alex. He beats me too often. He needs a challenge. Thank you. Thank you, my dad, for always being there. Your devotion to your family has given me the guidance to raise mine. Your example of being the first person in your family to attend college, let alone law school, makes me appreciate the opportunities that I had in life, which came from hard work, your hard work. Thank you for making Tampa your home all those years ago, even though it meant being away from your family. I'm grateful to you and your sacrifice, or to you for your sacrifice. And to my mom, thank you always for being there. Thank you for being my role model. But you're not just a role model to me. You are a role model to everyone in this community. Before you, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Florida never had a female supervisor. You changed that. Before you, the Florida Courts of Appeal never had a Hispanic female judge. You changed that. Before you, The Middle District of Florida never had a Hispanic judge. You changed that. Your achievements are the validation that if you work hard, you can do anything in this country. And your achievements realize the dreams of a woman, your mother, my grandmother, who left Havana with thoughts of what's going to happen next. Your dedication to this community and the people in it is an inspiration to us all, but it's an inspiration most of all to me. Thank you. To my wife, Rachel, I don't know if you realize the twists and turns life would take as we celebrated our first wedding anniversary at the Stetson Law Library while I was studying for the bar exam, eating your homemade paella in 1905 salad. It's a family recipe, it's just not our family recipe. When I learned you had grown up overseas because your father worked in the State Department, I assumed you could handle constant change since you were used to moving from country to country every few years. And boy, did I test you. Probably in more ways than one. You moved from Tallahassee to Pinellas County, to Tampa, to Coupé, Puerto Rico, to Viejo San Juan, Puerto Rico, to Fort Myers, Florida, and back to Tampa, all for me. For part of 2018, when the Department of Justice sent me to El Salvador to implement a new program and assist our allies in the region, you were all in, even if it meant you had to take care of the children by yourself for several months. You supported me wherever I was, anywhere in the world. You always made sure that we could FaceTime with the kids so we could say nighttime prayers. That includes even when I'm going places with Judge Palermo. Thank you for going on this crazy journey with me. I love you, and at least I'm not boring. I'm really not boring. To my son Alejandro, Alex, and Sofia, Mami y yo les quiero mucho. They'll see the video later, don't worry. We love you very much. We gave you the same gift that my parents gave me. That is growing up in Hillsborough County, which seems to be a popular present these days. Don't waste this gift. You will have opportunities to do and see things here that I never dreamed of doing. This community is amazing. Look to the examples of trailblazers that came before you, like your Layla, your grandmother, or your kindness of your Aunt Sammy. Alex, you're my firstborn, and you are who made me a daddy. I will always love you. And Sophia, you are what made our family complete. I love you so much. I loved you so much I named you after my grandmother, Sophia. You two represent the future while remembering our past. Thank you. Thank you to everyone here for making this such a special day and allowing me to say thank you. I am still overwhelmed and awestruck by all the messages, calls, tweets, DMs, all the messages of well wishes and good tidings. Thank you so much. It means a lot. But even as I'm filled with joy on this day, especially the joy that your presence here gives me, I still can't help thinking about my grandmother on this day. As I left Puerto Rico for the last time, the last thing I saw of the island, as the plane ascended into the sky over the Caribbean Sea towards Florida, was El Morro. El Morro is a Spanish fortress, much like the fortress at San Marcos and St. Augustine. As I saw El Morro shrinking in the distance, I became emotional. Not because I was leaving a place I loved or saying goodbye to friends, dear friends, or even the trepidations of life in a new place, Fort Myers, Florida. But I thought of what my grandmother's last look of Cuba might have been as she said goodbye to her homeland for the last time. You see, there's a fortress in Havana called El Morro. And I can only imagine that fortress was the last thing that she would see as she said goodbye to Cuba forever. I can only wonder what she would have felt on this day. On this day, her daughter serving the United States, the country that gave us freedom, and her grandson serving the people of Hillsborough County, the county that gave her a home. Well, quite simply, she would have felt humbled, honored, and grateful. Thank you.
this time, the court is going to call upon Father Len Plazeski again to give us a benediction. Father.
Your Honor, if it please the court, I would like to make one clarification. Not every graduate Jesuit high school entered the legal profession. A few of us became priests, okay? Let us bow our heads in prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. As we come to the conclusion of this investiture ceremony, we thank you for the blessings of this day and ask for blessings on Judge Baggé-Hernández and his family from this day forward, and all those, his colleagues who serve on the bench. We also ask your blessings in a special way on those who are entrusted with the protection of our community, especially our police officers, firefighters, and those entrusted with enforcing the laws of our nation, state, and ordinances of our community. We ask you to bless our nation, whatever adversity or challenges we may face now or in the future. And now, Lord, we invoke your blessing from the book of Numbers. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord let his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord look upon you kindly and give you his peace. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Father. All right, at this time, the court is going to call upon Amy Curato to lead us in the closing, choosing the selection of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night from the light from above. From the mountain to the prairies to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Bravo. Well, in closing, I want to thank everyone for attending this very special celebration with the court. There will be a receiving line formed here in front of the bench for those of you who would like to extend your greetings to Judge Baggé-Hernández. At this time, Deputy Manzi, court stands adjourned.
Ladies and gentlemen.